Daniel hadn't planned to travel that weekend. The idea came suddenly after another long week at work and another evening spent staring at his phone without really thinking. He booked a train ticket to the coast almost without hesitation, packed a small backpack, and told himself it was just a short escape. Nothing more. The train left early in the morning. The city slowly disappeared behind grey buildings and noisy roads, replaced by open fields and quiet villages. Daniel sat by the window, watching the world change. He felt lighter already, as if distance itself was doing something good to him. At the next station, a woman entered the carriage and sat across from him. She wore a long coat and held a camera around her neck. Her hair was slightly messy, as if she had rushed to catch the train. "Is this seat taken?" she asked. "No," Daniel replied. "Go ahead." She smiled. "Thanks." They travelled in silence for a while. Outside, the landscape became greener, softer. Daniel noticed the woman adjusting her camera, taking photos through the window, then stopping to look at them carefully. "You must really love travelling," he said finally. She looked up, surprised, then laughed quietly. "I do. I'm Emma." "Daniel!" They began talking slowly, as if neither of them wanted to rush the conversation. Emma told him she worked in an art gallery, but spent most of her free time travelling alone. She said travelling helped her feel connected to places, to people, to herself. Daniel listened carefully. "I've always wanted to travel more," he admitted, "but I kept waiting for the right time." Emma nodded. "I used to wait too. Then I realised the right time rarely arrives on its own." When the train reached the coast, the air smelled of salt and wind. Daniel and Emma stepped onto the platform together, unsure where to go next. "I was thinking of walking along the cliffs," Emma said. "You don't have to come, of course." Daniel smiled. "Actually, I'd like that." They followed a narrow path along the sea. Waves crashed softly against the rocks below, and the sky stretched wide and open above them. They spoke about childhood memories, small regrets, and quiet dreams they had never said out loud. At one point, the wind grew stronger, and Emma laughed as she tried to hold her hair back. Daniel instinctively reached out, then stopped himself. She noticed and smiled. They sat on a rock, sharing bread and coffee from Emma's thermos. Time felt slower there, as if the world had decided to pause for them. "Do you ever feel like life moves too fast?" Daniel asked. "All the time," Emma replied. "That's why I travel, to remind myself to slow down." As the sun began to set, the sky turned orange and pink. They stood side by side, not speaking, simply watching. Daniel felt a quiet warmth growing inside him. Not excitement, but something deeper and calmer. When evening came, they returned to the town and found a small guest house. Only one room was left, with 2 beds. Emma hesitated. "If that's uncomfortable—" "It's fine," Daniel said quickly. "Really." That night, they talked in low voices in the dark, sharing thoughts that felt too personal for strangers. At some point, silence filled the room, but it felt natural. In the morning, Daniel woke to the sound of the sea and soft movement. Emma was already awake, standing by the window. "Good morning," she said. "Morning." They walked to the beach barefoot, the cold sand waking them fully. Emma took photos, and Daniel watched her, realizing how easy it felt to be there with her. When it was time to leave, neither of them hurried. "I don't know where I'll go next," Emma said quietly. Daniel took a breath. "Maybe we could travel a little together, just for a while." Emma looked at him, searching his face. Then she smiled, the kind of smile that feels like an answer before words are needed. "I'd like that," she said. They walked toward the station side by side, unsure of the destination, but certain of one thing. Sometimes the best journeys begin when two people decide not to walk alone. After the train doors closed behind them, Daniel and Emma stood on the platform for a moment, unsure of what to do next. The station was small and quiet, with only a few travellers waiting on the benches. A soft wind carried the smell of the sea through the open space. "So," Emma said lightly, adjusting the strap of her camera, "where to now?" Daniel smiled. "There's a small town a few stops from here. I heard it's slow, quiet, the kind of place where nothing is rushed." "That sounds perfect," she replied. They bought new tickets and sat together on the next train. This time, the silence between them felt different, comfortable, warm. Emma rested her head against the window, watching the landscape pass by. Daniel noticed how the light touched her face and felt a strange calm, as if he had known her much longer than just a day. The town was even smaller than Daniel expected. Narrow streets, old houses with flowers on the balconies, and a long road leading toward the hills. They found a simple cafe near the station and ordered tea. "I don't usually change my plans," Emma admitted, stirring her cup. "But today feels right." Daniel nodded. "I feel the same. It's strange how some people enter your life quietly, but everything feels different after." She looked at him for a long moment, then smiled softly. They spent the afternoon walking through the town, stopping wherever curiosity led them. Emma took photos of small details, an open window, a cat sleeping on warm stones, the light between trees. Daniel enjoyed watching her more than the places themselves. As evening approached, they climbed a gentle hill outside the town. From the top, they could see the sea in the distance, glowing under the setting sun. They sat down in the grass, close enough to feel each other's warmth. "Do you think some meetings are meant to happen?" Emma asked quietly. Daniel thought for a moment. "I don't know, but I think we choose what we do with them." Emma smiled and leaned her head lightly against his shoulder. Daniel didn't move. He felt his heart slow, steady and full. When the sky grew darker, they stood up reluctantly. "Just one more day," Emma said. "Let's not rush back yet." Daniel met her eyes. "I'd like that." They walked back down the hill together, their steps matching without effort. The road ahead was still unknown, but for the first time in a long while, Daniel felt no need to hurry. Sometimes he realized the road slows down for a reason, so two people can walk it together.